If you're considering building a home in 2024, you need to know about the pros and cons to building a home here in Salt Lake City versus going with an existing home. We're going to talk about a number of different things here. Right now, we're seeing existing home inventory at all-time lows, and we're seeing a lot of new construction inventory still sit on the market. Builders have lots of inventory and they're happy to sell it. And actually, that new construction market has a lot of competition. Now, depending on where you're looking at, there's going to be pros and cons to each different area and different builder and different price points. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here today in this video. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cody Steck, your favorite Utah realtor. Thank you for watching this video and talking about the Salt Lake City real estate market here today with me. I want to jump into some of the things that you have to consider when it comes to buying a new home versus buying an existing home. Like I said earlier, the number of homes that are actually for sale is at an all-time low. If you're looking at existing inventory right now, there's incredibly low demand and also incredibly low inventory for these existing homes. However, buyers are still looking for opportunities. When it comes to the low demand and the low inventory that we're seeing in the market, it actually drags out that process for the buyers as well as for the sellers whose homes are sitting on the market. For those buyers, when they're looking for inventory out there in the market and they're not seeing what they want because it just doesn't exist or it's at least not listed for sale, they get discouraged and they start to drag this process out. It might take them a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to actually find the home that they want. Whereas with new construction, you can generally go and find what you want here today and probably go into contract in it in just a few days. And the cool thing about this is that builders are actually offering incentives and closing cost credits to buyers who purchase one of their homes here because the market is in such a peculiar place and because buyers are getting crushed by the interest rates that we're seeing today. I actually recently had a family that I was working with and we were looking for an existing home. They thought they wanted to be in a particular part of town in Draper and they were looking for a home here. They were looking for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It was almost 4 months into this process. We looked at a couple of houses, actually made an offer on a home, but did not end up proceeding with that offer. And we looked at tons of homes that were on the market for existing resale homes. However, at one point during that process, they decided, you know what, let's just go a little bit further out. Let's go to Lehigh, let's go to Saratoga Springs and look at some of the new construction options that are out there and see if that's a fit for us. So we walked into one of the new construction offices, saw some of the potential that they have with those new homes and said, yes, we're going to be a little bit further out, but we're actually going to be able to get exactly what we're looking for in a home. It's going to be a different floor plan, but it's going to be brand new and it's going to be at the same price as what we thought we would pay if we were shopping there in Draper. So we went through this process, we talked to the builder's agent, and they actually said that they had some inventory that was coming available that was going to match exactly what my clients were looking for. And on top of that, they did receive a $20,000 credit towards buying down their interest rate. So they could go from about a 7.5% interest rate down to about a 6% interest rate. So this is a huge credit for them. Not only did they get the same price on their home, but now they're getting a brand new home at a much lower interest rate at roughly 6%. So this is the type of thing that I'm seeing out there. There's lots of buyers who want to go this direction and actually go to new construction. However, that being said, don't get me wrong, there are going to be some downsides along the way. Typically with new construction, unless you have deep pockets and you're looking at the more luxury price ranges, you're going to be in a position where generally those new homes are going to be further away from town. It's really hard to find here in Salt Lake new construction homes anywhere on the east side, unless you're going to be spending about $600,000-700,000 for a townhome or a condo, or upwards of $1 million plus for a single family home. You're probably not going to find new construction on the east side. If you go out further west, if you go to West Jordan or South Jordan, Harriman, you can find some single family homes in the new construction world, but from about $600,000 to $900,000. But most of those new construction homes are going to be on the very far west side, or they're going to be up further north or to the south down in Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, maybe Lehigh or American Fork. So there obviously are some downsides to new construction. We'll talk about a couple more of those here in just a second. But if you're looking online, you're looking for new construction options, you're not going to generally find that information on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com. You're going to miss that information that's out there. So what you have to do is you have to get in contact with somebody like myself. That's what I do as a real estate agent. I help you go out there and actually find the inventory that you're looking for. If you're in a position where you're considering buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in Utah, please reach out to me. My information is here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I've had hundreds of people reach out to me here from this channel, from videos just like this, and I absolutely love it. So if you're considering buying, selling, or investing in real estate, please reach out. My information is here on the screen, and you'll find it in the description box down below. And on that note, we do have a solution for finding that missing inventory. If you reach out to me, my team and I have a list of all the brand new homes in all of the different areas. So depending on what you're looking for, you tell me the area and the price range and the criteria of what you're looking for, and we'll be able to get you a list of exactly what it is that you want and what builders you should be looking at in what areas. So reach out to me and I'd love to get you that information. So some of the other things you have to consider with new homes is that you're going to have an HOA. Typically, these new home communities are going to have HOAs. Now, if you're looking at condos and townhomes, those will definitely have an HOA fee associated with them. But even if you're looking at single family homes, you're probably going to have an HOA fee in a lot of these newer communities. Now, they do offer some incentives. You do have, different features such as like maybe a clubhouse or a pool or a gym, maybe even some pickleball courts or a local park or playground. And those can be great things if you're actually going to use them and, get some value from them. But if you don't see yourself actually using those features and getting any value from them, then those HOA fees can really add up. Usually you're looking at somewhere between $100 to $200 a month, maybe even upwards of $250 a month. And so that can really add up over the course of a year. That could be anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 per year for something that you may or may not use. So make sure to consider that if you're looking at new construction. Are you going to use those amenities? What exactly are you getting for that HOA fee? And just make sure you account for that in your financial bottom line. Now, the next thing you have to consider when it comes to new construction is considering doing an inspection. Even on new construction homes, I do recommend doing an inspection because there's going to be things that the builder misses. They're going to miss different things like maybe hooking up an outlet or making sure a fan works or maybe a light's not working or something like that. So there's going to be issues even on brand new homes, but especially on existing homes, you have to be aware that doing an inspection is critical for this. If you get a home that's 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, there are bound to be issues with it. There's going to be some deferred maintenance on the property and likely many updates that you may or may not know about from having seen the property in the first place. That can also be something that you consider along the way. Maybe you just don't want to deal with the issues that come with an older home. And in a case like that, new construction will probably be the best option for you. Another thing to consider when it comes to newer homes is that although you may not get the mature neighborhood that you get with an older suburb, at least you can be in an area where you're going to have a better community space. Typically these master plan subdivisions are planned out in a way where they're going to have, suburban type homes. They're going to be next to each other. There might be some character and architecture differences between them, but they're going to then have a local park that is usually managed and controlled by the HOA or potentially by the city. Generally, these have a better community space. They're laid out a little bit better and they're a little bit more designed towards actually bringing that community together and using those amenities at the same time. The older homes that you're going to find, whether you're looking in Cottonwood Heights or you're looking in Sandy or Draper or maybe even downtown Salt Lake, those are generally not going to have any of those community focused areas. They might just have one neighborhood park. It's owned and controlled by the city and they do a pretty good job about that, but it's usually just, some grass, maybe a playground, maybe a tennis court or a basketball court, and that's about it, right? So you might have some consideration there in what actually is going to be beneficial and important to you. Now, when it comes to purchasing a home, whether you're purchasing an existing home or a new construction home, you always have to consider what is going to be the best resale value for that particular home. Now, there are going to be some pros and cons to each side of this. If you're looking at new construction homes, typically you're purchasing further out, which in the short term might actually have a worse resale value. But as things grow, as time, passes, that area could become more desirable, especially if you're looking at the younger generations who are likely to be moving into your new home. Maybe you sell that in 10 or 15 or 20 years. That home is going to be slightly used for that younger generation. Typically that younger generation, they want to live in an area that is newer and up and coming and just a little bit nicer overall, right? They're kind of moving out to the suburbs and, it's a little bit more of a family friendly area. So as time passes, your home, even though today it might be a little bit further on the outskirts, at some point it actually might be pretty close to the town that you're living in. For instance, if you're looking in Saratoga Springs, you might find a home that's, a little bit further away. And you might say, hey, this is actually pretty far from the shopping or the entertainment or from getting into like Lehigh, which is going to be your next major city. But in 10 or 15 years, that home might actually be relatively close compared to other options that are on the market at that time. So over the long term, resale value can be pretty good in new construction. I personally am a fan of thinking that here in Utah, especially, the resale value is going to be best when you're close to the outdoor activities that people want to experience. The reason why the east side of Salt Lake County has developed so quickly, as well as the east side of Utah County as well, is because of the proximity to the mountains. People want to have those mountain views. They want to be able to get up in the mountains to go skiing, hiking, climbing, everything like that. People want to get outdoors and really experience that nature that we've got here. So the closer you are to those areas, the resale value is always going to be good in those areas. Now, we've talked about a lot here on this video today, and if you're considering going new construction, there's a couple of things you have to know before you go and do that. You might be getting excited about new construction and thinking, hey, I want to go look at what inventory is available. And if you're considering doing that, you need to make sure that you show up with a real estate agent. Hopefully that's me. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. not, but I hope it is me, we can show up to the home together the very first time so that you've got somebody on your side who can help you through that process. If you just walk into a new construction home, you start talking to their agent, that agent's going to love to sell you a home. However, they don't really actually look out for you and your best interest along the way, right? They represent the builder and they're trying to sell the home that the builder has so that they can make some money and make the builder some money, right? So you really need somebody on your side. Again, hopefully that can be me. Reach out to me if you're looking at buying, selling, or investing here in Utah. Reach out to me and we can actually go into that new construction home together the very first time and actually make sure that we're in line with what you're looking for and make sure that you're protected. I can help you negotiate through the process. We can look at getting closing cost credit. We can look at making upgrades to the home and make sure that you're being protected along the way with the contract that the builder's going to want to use. My information will be here on the screen once more and down in the description box below. And before you go, if you want to find out what it costs to live in one of Utah's top neighborhoods, make sure to check out the video right here and you can subscribe to the channel right over here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.